It was in December 10, 2005. That day, everything did normal, no issue. They checked this particular flight. It was okay. Everything did okay. People checked in. Children checked in. Adults checked in. Everybody checked in. No one expected anything to happen. Okay? Sosoliso Airlines flight 1145. It went from Abuja to Port Harcourt. People who entered this flight, they were totally 110 people. Out of them, 103 were passengers, while 7 were crew members, 2 pilots and 5 air hostess. Most of them were going home for holiday because it was Christmas period. Okay? Bibo Odukoya was one of the passengers. Who was Bibo Odukoya? She was a famous pastor, a pastor at Fountain of Life Church in Lagos. Her sermons inspired many people. So her advice about marriage helped many families. She was 45 years old. She was a strong woman of faith. Okay? Now, let's talk about the plane itself. The plane was a McDonnell Douglas DC-932. Okay? It was not a new plane. It was manufactured in year 1972, okay? But it was registered in Nigeria in 2003. Who owned this particular plane? It was Jet Airways. But who was operating it? Sosoliso Airlines. It was a reliable plane. It was checked, that is inspected March 2005, and it was considered safe. They scheduled it for another inspection, that is June 2006. What about the pilots? The main pilot was Benjamin Adekule Adebayo. Okay? He was a 48 years old man and was a very experienced pilot. Had over 10,000 hours of flight. The first officer was Gerard Yakubu Adan. He was from Ghana. He sat next to him in this particular plane while they were going from Abuja to Port Harcourt. Let's talk about the flight. The flight left Abuja smoothly. There were no problems at takeoff. Everything was normal. Most of the trip was normal. It felt like an easy flight. There were kids from this particular college who also boarded this plane. These kids were between this age, 12 to 16. They talked happily about their Christmas break. Why Bibo Odukoya thought about her next sermon in the plane. Now, the problem. What was the problem? Around 2 p.m., the plane started to land. It was going to Port Harcourt International Airport. Then, this went from normal to wrong very fast. The weather was the issue. What was wrong? Strong wind, heavy rainfall, followed by lightning. It was a very dangerous situation. Things that were normal drastically turned very dangerous. The crash, the Captain Adebayo, tried to land the plane, but the plane went too low. Went too low. The pilots needed to see the runway to land safely, but it was not easy because of the rain, thunder, lightning, and heavy wind. Normally, the safe height for landing is 307 feet, okay? But the plane went down to 204 feet. This was too low. The wind made it hard to control the plane. Everybody was shouting. The children were praying. Bibo was calabashing. This one called on Jesus. The other one called on Allah. The other one called on the God of their ancestors. It was so dangerous. The pilots tried to turn the plane around, but it was too late. The plane hit the ground at 200 miles per hour. It crashed just before the runway. Before it gets to the runway, it crashed. The plane caught fire and broke into pieces. The crash was very bad, but the soft ground saved some lives. 7 people out of 110 were saved at first. They were pulled out of the wreckage. One survivor was Kechi Okwochi.
My name is Kechi.
Kechi, where are you from, darling?
I'm from Nigeria, but I live in Houston right now.
Why America's Got Talent?
I want to share my voice with America's Got Talent.
How many years have you been singing for?
Since I was about 7 or 8.
Okay.
But only very seriously about 12 years now.
And what got you into singing?
Well, I was in a plane crash when I was 16 years old back in Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
She had burns on 40% of her entire body. She became a symbol of strength and survival. The fire was very strong. The airport had only one fire truck. There were no ambulances. The swampy ground made it hard to stop the fire. It was only Kechi and Bumi that survived. So the fire killed more people than the crash. Although Bibo Odukoya survived the crash, she had very bad burns. She was taken to a hospital. She fought hard to live but died December 11, the following day. Only 2 people lived after the crash. 61 passengers were students from this college. This school was a very good school in Abuja. Their parents put them on flight from 2001 because the road as at then started becoming too dangerous. 2 doctors from the Doctors Without Borders were in this plane. They also died. Their names were Awa Kamara and Thomas Lamy. Uche Marcus Okoro was another victim. He was an important person in Nigeria Oil and Gas Union. So what happened after the crash? Nigeria was in shock. The then President Olusegun Obasanjo took action. What action? He stopped all Sosoliso planes from flying. I promised to make flying safer. Families wanted money for their losses. At the end of the case judgment, they were asked to pay $18,157 per person. So Sosoliso paid 2.3 million by 2009. But the families of the victims were still very sad and angry. They blamed everything on Sosoliso. So now we see for this particular airline worked by Bibo Odukoya and those children from that prestigious college in Abuja. What do you think about this story? Please, if you have any personal experience, anything that is not covered, drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.